I live I live with a girl in Baltimore. I lived with a girl in Cali. Nigga, I was trying to survive. This is called Life Unscripted, right? What's going on, everybody? I'm Wilt Sorrell. I am from the 757 area of Virginia, if you're familiar with like Chesapeake, Virginia Beach. I moved to Richmond 2016. I was living in Cali, and for those that don't know, I'm a hip hop artist. So, that's what I do, entrepreneur. I have a book coming out called Worth the Wait. I have a podcast called Love Thy Neighbor. I have an album called California Gold Rush coming out. So 31 years young. So if you're on Instagram, you can go at Wilt Sorrell. That's WILTSORRELL. All my music is up there. Click the link in the bio. I have just tons of music. Everything you want to know about me, I do this thing every Wednesday on Instagram called Willpower Wednesday, to where I'm motivating people, encouraging people. I started rapping in 2009. I started off doing like Christian rap. I kind of drifted away from the whole Christian rap artist label. I'm authentic Christian, but I'm not a Christian hip hop artist. A lot of my music comes from a real place. Not saying that Christian rap is not, real. They don't have real stories, but I know me per se, my music doesn't fit within the genre of the Christian hip hop realm. A lot of my music is edgy, not edgy to the point to where I'm like, degrading women or anything like that. But I just know with the content of how I carry myself, it's adult music, not your typical youth group type of situation. So I actually, I grew up in church. My home, well, it's not my home church, but the church you little kid back in the day, is Rehoboth AME in Deep Creek area, if y'all familiar with the Chesapeake. It's the AME church. That's actually where I got saved at the age of 7. They transitioned to another church in like the South Norfolk area called Chesapeake Christian Center. We moved to another church in Newport News called Calvary Chapel, which I would consider my home church, going back home. Where Pastor Tony Clark is the pastor there. And multicultural church, pretty dope. And where I'm at right now, I'm currently a member of the Life Church, where the good brother Vernon Gordon is pastor. I am single. I am dropping singles. But I'm not throwing them singles at the strip club. What y'all do?
You mean to tell me you ain't dropping no bands, bro?
I ain't dropping no bands. Listen, if I am dropping any bands, I'm picking them back up, put them in my pocket. I don't pick it back up, put it back in the pocket.
Let me pick up this rent band right quick. Let me stop fooling with people.
Right. Don't let me go out there and throw some Usher money.
What? Oh.
Yeah. Usher had his own. What's the dude on Coming to America? Lisa, he got his own money.
Oh, McDowell.
Yeah, he got his own money. I was real particular with the type of women I would talk to. I got a certain type. Majority of the women that I was with, it wasn't right for a brother. It just didn't fit. Mainly because, if I could keep it 100, and they really didn't have no relationship with God. And that was the number one thing, like the deal breaker for me. And I'm not saying try to make it seem like I'm better than somebody that doesn't have a relationship. But it was just with me, it was just like a lot of them saw that I had a relationship with God. And I guess from where they came from was with guys who type that would treat them badly or whatever the case may be. So when I come along, I'm talking about Jesus. So they're like, oh, they didn't know I was really about that life. They didn't know I really was like, oh, he's not just saying that, like he really loves Jesus. Like this dude, like he down to earth, but this nigga really loves Jesus. He really love him. So, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the girls that I was with, it was just sex and then that was over. It didn't really get nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I always had like the idea of wanting a wife, right? But when you deal with so much counterfeits, gotta preach yourself. When you dealt with so much, counterfeits, that has an effect on how you carry yourself and, the things that are going in your life. So
So by counterfeits, you mean people that pose like they are Christians, but they're really kind of not?
Right. Pose as if they believed in the word, but in actuality, but like the word said, they have a form of godliness, but they're not the power of God. They love the idea of being with someone like me. I guess I can be with this guy because he into God, you know. Even when I was in high school, bro, it was like that. It was like, you know, girls would look at me and it's like, oh, you so good. I don't want to corrupt you. You so this, that, and the other. And I kind of wore that as a badge of honor. Like, oh, but not really realizing like, they're really trying to play you right now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you thought they was giving you the okie doke, but it was just in a kind way.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I already knew like, you know, once they got tired of the street dudes, all right, give a guy who loved God a chance.
Right.
But in actuality, it was a way of me being used. Like, oh, well, you know, he's a man of God. So, of course, they're not going to tell me that, but the way that they carried him. So, that had an effect on the brother.
What kind of an effect do you think it had on your decision making with future relationships?
Okay, looks do matter. Let's just start right there. All
Of course.
Looks do matter. I think the stigma like with churches is that, you know, you gotta make sure they love the Lord and this, that, and the other, which is true. You definitely want somebody that loves the Lord and, you know, have a relationship with them. But you also want somebody that you are physically attracted to. You know, somebody that you know, if you see yourself being with this person, you roll over, you want to be like, yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You want to roll over and being like, what is going on here? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, well, I hope you ain't rolling over if you're not attracted. You shouldn't be rolling over to.
You shouldn't be rolling. Listen.
You shouldn't be rolling over. That means you probably was rolling around at first. So your relationship with women in the past, you said it was, you know, a lot of just, it was just about sex sort of kind of thing.
Initially, it would be about, okay, so you believe in God? Oh, yeah, I believe in God. Oh, okay, what church you go to? I grew up in, and that's what hit me with. I grew up in so-and-so church. I'm like, yes, this person probably don't really have a relationship with Jesus, but I'm gonna give it benefit of the doubt.
You would make the determination based on the church she goes to?
Huh?
You would make the determination based on the church that she goes to?
No. When people would say like, I go to so-and-so church, I don't base it off of the church they go to. I base it off of like what they actually show and how they conduct themselves. Like, because at the end of the day, you can go to any church, but it's really outside of the church how you act. To me, that really matters. Their personal relationship with Christ. That's what I base it off of.
Have you ever lived with anybody that you were sleeping with? I
live with a girl in Baltimore, with a girl in Cali. Nigga, I was trying to survive. This is called Life Unscripted, right? Woo! Yeah. This is called Life Unscripted, right?
That's right. That's exactly
unscripted. I was trying to survive, man. What's the good time song? Scratching and surviving. Listen,
you hanging in the child line, man. Good time.
It was like, oh man. I said, I had to talk to myself. I was like, brother, hey, you want to keep a roof over your head? You know, right. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Now, I don't condone, people, living with each other that is not married. Don't get me wrong. But I understand when you're in situations or what have you, things happen or whatever the case may be, So yeah, I really was just trying to survive. Even the girls that I was with, I won't really like feeling them like that. It's kind of like, it was just pretty much just sleeping around, and I'm just here until I figure out where I'm gonna go.
How did your perspective, though, as you got closer to the place where you were going to actually meet your ex-wife, how did your perspective change about dating?
Once I said to myself, let me stop having sex. You know, no matter how hard it gets, let me focus my attention on God. And that's when I started to go to the Bible studies at Krispy Kreme. That was the perspective change, man, for me. It was like, if I really expected, and this was a thought process there. I was like, if I really expect God to bless me with a wife, I can't just be out here just wild, and I got to really like be prepared in the way that I carry myself if I want to, you know what I'm saying?
So when did you first meet your ex-wife?
I was at the Krispy Kreme Bible study. See, what happened was the sign said hot and ready on the Krispy Kreme sign. Listen, let me tell you something. You can't admit that was a good one.
But it wasn't a $5 pizza, was it?
Take me down, Lord. Take me down. Yo.
What was it that actually attracted you to her?
Man, it was the fact that her face was in that word, bro. Like, she was not texting anybody. She won't in her phone. And you know what I'm saying? Like, she literally had the Bible right open and was following word for word. And I'm like, yo, she really in that word. I'm like, had to rub hands like Birdman. Then like the end of 2017 to like June of 2018, we dated. Then we broke up for some time, for a month or two, 2 months, I think. We got back together in like September of 2018. I proposed like on her birthday.
Why did you guys break up the first time?
And I keep it 100. If we can go back to the whole counterfeits that I was dealing with, I still had some counterfeit residue. You know what I mean? It's all called attachments. That's better terminology. I had some attachments that I didn't quite get over, and that was starting to affect me. There was one incident to where we went to like a bowling alley, and so she went to go get her nails and feet did, so I went there with her and I stayed in the shop, but I sat down and, I let the lady do what they're gonna do. She got her nails done, and I was like, oh, babe, let me see your nails. And she showed it to her. She was like, oh, look. I said, oh, wow, that nails is pretty. I was like, what would go good with them nails?